How's it going, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. So, I've got a controversial topic for you here, and that is how many magazines do you carry on your Minuteman kit? If we are talking about the prepared individual or, a rifleman base setup for non-military, maybe civilian aspect, as in defense of your, community if something goes bad, or just in general, doing things out and about, patrolling, that kind of stuff, if things get really bad, because we're already seeing it at the southern border as of right now that people are taking up arms and patrolling certain locations. Now, if it hopefully it gets better as we go through, but it could get worse and it could progress into more seriousness. So in saying, oh, this will never happen, kind of already is. So how many magazines do I recommend? Now, this is my interpretation and my opinion for my environment, for my MET-TC. You may be completely different. You may need a completely different loadout, completely different magazines. I'm just sharing you my thought process of why I do it to maybe solidify some good ideas or bad ideas in essence of why I would or wouldn't do this. So, got a bunch of water on my rifle. How many mags do I carry on my kit? As a general rule, for general purpose, I carry 6 on me, 1 in the gun. It's typically what I go with. Some people are gonna say that's too little, too much. I'm not here to discuss arguments or anything because, again, MET-TC, yours may be different, but it really depends on your environment, and you should analyze your environment and your intent of what are you going to accomplish? What do you want to accomplish? Are you defending your cul-de-sac from, outside rival gangs and stuff because we've had a failure of civility and, power's out and stuff like that, and you're just trying to keep control over your neighborhood? Maybe that's it. Maybe it's a defensive posture, which we could potentially see, and we have saw in the past. LA riots kind of spark some stuff, some other stuff as well. We're not going to dive into the details of it. Currently southern border, that kind of situation going on. So in that aspect, how many magazines should you have set up? Well, do you have a defensive perimeter? Do you have caches of extra ammunition or weapon systems or something like that spread out? Do you have established runners, as in if you are defending your neighborhood or something from armed individuals, do you have someone supplying you with more ammo at that location? Does your defensive fighting position, or a DFP, have extra ammunition already stocked up, ready to go? So you have your full kit, you're sitting here and you're on guard duty and stuff, you're like, man, this is really boring and I haven't saw anything, and it's late at night and you're about to fall asleep, and then someone comes upon you, a big group of people, and they're trying to take things away from, food, water, resources away from your neighborhood, and you have to defend yourself as such. Is there ammunition stored by? Can you maneuver around? These are all questions that you may have to ask in the moment or prepare for. So the flip side of that is in an environment like this, as in maybe you are patrolling a lot, you are moving around a lot. Maybe you don't expect contact, right? So why do you need to carry 15 magazines on you if you don't expect it to? And now there's the whole premise of, well, just because you weren't expecting it doesn't mean it's gonna happen. Yes, valid, and there's risk mitigation to that. You're gonna have to, figure out what your level of risk is. Because I'm telling you, if you're hiking around with 20 magazines or 15 magazines on your back, and you're going from point A to point B, and you're not likely to see anybody, it's gonna get heavy and it's gonna get annoying. And the heavier you are, the less or the more time you are out in an environment like this, able to be saw, and you're not as efficient. So it's a balance, it really is. If you're a bigger guy and you can hike and ruck a ton of weight, then yeah, by all means, you can plus up on ammunition and stuff. But like we've discussed here on this channel before, you got a lot of other needs too. You got water purification, because water, you got food, you got just simple resources. What about the other gear that's carrying on you? GPS if you want that, rangefinder if you want that, water, just the basic needs, right? It starts to add up. So Why do I pick about 7 magazines? That's mainly because it's a military standard. A full combat loadout roughly is 210 rounds of 5.56 through a rifle. And that tends to get you in a good area. Now, basing things off the military may not be the best practice because the military has a logistics system that they can call up for the most part and say, I'm out of ammo, can you drop ammo in? Cool, Minuteman kit, you may not have that opportunity. You may not have a logistics system backing you to go, hey, I need extra ammo, I ran out. Do you have a QRF on standby that's gonna show up and give you MREs and ammo and water and make you feel real good? Maybe not. Maybe you're not set up that way. So you might have to bring on extra ammunition because you don't have that logistics system on you. Granted, I'm not getting into the whole deep dive into, well, I don't want to stand out, I don't want to have a rifleman kit. Cool, yes, there is many discussions that we will talk about in the future and in the past that we have about blending in and not running this, and there's different environments, but if you are in an environment that you need to be overt, have this kit. What type of magazines, how many should you have? Like I said, MET-TC, I carry 7 just because that's general purpose. I can always plus up if needed, or I can always strip out if needed as well. It's just things to think about. Even in the military aspect, are you proficiently trained with your weapon system? Do you know how many rounds per minute that you should be firing out of your weapon system? As in, sustained versus semi, versus, cyclic, which can't really do, but there's multiple different aspects. So if you're a type of person like, hey, I see a guy and you're just like, pow, 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 and just sending it, you're not gonna last very long on your magazines. Now, if you're doing like a sustained or, sustained rapid, all that kind of stuff, but a rate of fire, as in, roughly 10 to 12 rounds per minute, right? And you're just slowly, I'm up, they see me, I'm down, and you're in, out, squeeze, bang, right? As you see your enemy, you're not utilizing so much. But if you're providing suppressive fire, maybe you have another group or team that is maneuvering on the enemy and you're trying to keep them in line, your ammunition consumption is going to go up and your ammunition is going to go down very quickly. Things to think about. It's hardcore, in-depth, I get it, but just make it work for you. Now, if you're like, hey, I'm gonna stay in my home, maybe you should pre-position magazines in your home. Not now, I guess you can if you want now, but have locations that you've already thought about, like, hey, this is a defensive position, I'm gonna put extra rounds here, I'm gonna put extra stuff here, I'm gonna do this here, and I'm gonna have this, right? Just things to think about. And how many magazines do you have loaded? That's probably a whole other discussion, but in the moment, after I'm done defending my home and my neighborhood, I don't wanna be packing mags, waiting, be like, hey, oh gosh, my buddies need me, I'm still packing mags. Not that great. Tangent, I get it, side point. How many magazines do you need? Getting back to it. Kind of up to you. Just think about the environment you're in and what may you need. Do you have a logistics system? Do you not? Do you have extra magazines even on hand? Do other people have extra magazines? Are you with a team? Are you alone? All these come into play. So, kind of got to figure it out on your own a little bit, but I hope I provided some kind of information to get your thought process moving. If you guys enjoy this kind of stuff, want to hear more Stump Talks, definitely like, subscribe, greatly appreciate it. Throw things in the comment section below, like, hey, what do you think? And I'm not telling you how to run it in your kit at all. You do what's best for you and train with it. That's all I'm saying. Cool. So, like, subscribe, check out Patreon. We got some behind the scenes stuff over there. I think we got Rumble going on now, so that's kind of cool. So you get to see more pew-pew things that, YouTube doesn't really like. So check it out over there. Other than that, hope y'all have a great day.